Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Who, me?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Rob Chafe, Mad Cow Amplification.
Chris Connor.
Anything to add to that?
Self-associated.
Self-associated. That's very formal. Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. Now, we have a fantastic guest who we're going to announce just in a second. Just a second. I have a feeling he's doing some throat exercises, clearing up and sweetening up his voice. In the meantime, Tony, ask Rob what we do on the show.
Hey, Rob, what do we do on this show?
Talk about the fall of society through our youth. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was before.
That was before. That was our pre-show.
That's a very Rob response.
Talk about boutique brands and pedals and amps and 101s.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Boy,
you
could tell he was
make
not
sure
rehearsed.
you were getting it right.
Like,
Tony, anything you'd like to add to that?
Well,
I think people?
what Rob missed was that we like to talk
I didn't
to.
miss anything.
Oh, yes, you did. We like to talk to the people that make this boutique gear, and that's builders of guitars and amps and little pedals thingies and accessories and all the good stuff.
Indeed. So if you are a newer or first-time listener, we're really glad that you're listening, and we hope that you feel at home with us. Please feel free to reach out after any of the episodes at any point in time and just get in contact with us. We'd love to hear from you, especially if you are, as I mentioned, new to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so boy, oh boy, do we got a lot to talk about, and we got extra voices to do so.
Who do we have a guest today?
I'm just about to get that.
Okay. Hop
Extra guest, hop to it.
Hop to the guest. Me. I got to hop to it.
Who is the guest?
My name's Ralph Gottschalk, and I make little pedal doodads under the brand Wonderful Audio Technology.
What?
Tony
What?
loves
AKA
saying that.
what?
He's your biggest brand advocate out there.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not familiar with that, please, where can people go to get familiar? Ralph?
You can go to wonderfulaudiotechnology.com or wattpedals.com. And my Instagram, which is most of my social media, is Wonderful Audio Technology.
Perfect. And you make some pretty dang cool pedals out there.
Well, thank you.
Indeed. I've actually, we'll get into all that. So, hey, everybody, be warned. We're going to interview him later. What?
And this is his second appearance.
It is a second appearance. I'm reaffirming you.
Thank you.
Because I know that you need that in life.
I do. I need you to repeat everything I say.
First of all, for those that feel like they need an apology for the last episode, here it is. It was the equivalent of Tony and I running out of gas in the Mojave Desert and walking to Bishop to get gas. So anybody knows what I'm talking about, they're hopefully smiling knowingly. That was just us walking along going, well, so how are you doing?
I guess I should have listened to the last episode.
Well, you should, because I will be finishing it up tonight, and by the time this is out, it will be out.
It'll be out.
Yes, I speak in the future.
When will now be then? Is that the Spaceballs?
Yes.
Now will be tomorrow.
Now-
Yeah, now will be
When?
tomorrow.
Very soon.
Yes, very soon. Exactly. Yeah, we got...
No apologies needed, because I think that's going to turn out to be the top-rated episode of all time.
if that happens, Rob will eat his shirt.
Ooh.
Yes.
No, whoa. I'm not in on that bet.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
So
You guys
anyways...
You should have told me you're in Bishop. I would have come and picked you up.
Well, I used to
Bit of
live.
a
I used to, spend a lot of time out there growing up on the West Coast. That was one of our favorite haunts up there, and going up to like Crystal Lake and all that business. Ah, yes, the old mountains and junk, the high Sierras, as it were. Yes, beautiful. Anyways, let's get on with this.
Do we have any announcements?
We do have a couple of announcements. First of all, I want to reiterate. Hopefully, you will have seen this post by now, but we have. In the aforementioned episode we brought up, we've got the Hello Sailor Would You Rather Rangemaster. It's a special edition.
Limited edition of one.
Yes, it is. It is a limited edition of one, and it is in beautiful candy apple red. Nair, I say, Corvette summer red. Yeah, that's a deep cut right there. Mark Hamill, don't bother. And it's signed. Yeah, and it's really cool, and it's a range master.
Yeah,
So
it's sweet. It's got a real nice switch on it.
yeah, big heavy duty. That's the Cox and what you call it? When you hit the thing and it goes womp 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 on a submarine.
On a sub when it's diving.
Yeah, what's that thing called?
The dive alert.
No, that's not what it's called.
It's called the
It's
alert.
called something.
Look out! I'm diving.
Whoever's been on a submarine, tell us what that's called. And then we also have the Daredevil hype pedal. So those will be going out very soon.
I was on a submarine with screen doors.
What? You should have stayed on that submarine.
Oh, Tony.
Yes.
I got him to say what?
Yes, that's true. Yes, for every time I say what, Tony's going to donate $1.
Yeah, we have to drink.
Anyways, let me get on. I also wanted to bring up, I thought this would be a great conversation piece, which is why he sent this. But
Yeah.
this is from one of our executive producers. Yes. This is from Stuart George.
Stuart George.
Yes, way out in the UK.
Oh, I didn't.
And then-
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
In between like a stone wall and a house or something down by a pub, I imagine,
Yeah,
with a guy with
ye old sheep
a cane and a couple
tavern.
sheep, but he's playing guitar, which is cool. I probably got that way wrong, Stuart. I'm so sorry. I've seen With Nail and I a few times, and that's what I imagine. Okay. Here we go. That's a great movie, by the way. If anybody hasn't ever seen it, With Nail and I, go out and see it. All right. Stuart George. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello. I would like to pick your brains about the best guitar coffee table books. I'm looking to start a little collection. Keep up the good work. And then I think this is thanks, which is Jolsh. I'll figure out. I think it's
Is
the
it
Welsh spelling. Yeah. Look that up, Tony.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stu. Thanks, Stu. So, our resident coffee table book expert, at least the only one at the table that I know of. Chris might be also as well, but Tony.
Yes.
I told him first and foremost, get Immortal Axes.
Oh yeah, I would. That's a good one to have.
Yes, but this would be a great time to talk about a couple others. In fact, we've got one right over there. Can you grab that one, Rob?
That's a good one too.
Well, in the meantime, tell him what it is while he's grabbing it.
Well, this would be the Rickenbacker book.
It's heavy. Get the book.
This is the soft cover edition.
Yes.
Rickenbacker guitars, out of the frying pan into the fire glow.
Yes. Very clever titling.
Even if you don't like Rickenbackers,
They're
this book.
historical. They're cool.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
It's a beautiful.
I don't particularly enjoy playing them all that much yet.
Yep.
I may get to that point.
Yeah, that's
but
good.
they're super cool to look at. I mean,
Yeah.
and historically, they're so important to music.
Yes.
And it is a flippin' fantastic book. And all the ones that we're talking about are right around like $50.
Yeah.
I think Immortal Axes is down by like $35 now.
I think. Yeah. I think.
Free
if you-
delivery on Amazon. I'd get that.
Yep. That's worth every penny. One of my favorites that is stupid expensive now and really hard to find is the Blackguard book. And it's all, I mean, it is an in-depth photography filled.
350 pages of the same guitar.
Well, not the same guitar, but the same type of guitar.
This one's got a black guard.
This one's got
Chapter 2.
6 screws.
This one's got a black guard.
Well, essentially, yes.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see some of them are pristine, some of them are pretty beat up. So
Yeah.
that would be, and it's a pretty hefty book too.
Yeah. Chapter 332. This one has 5 screws.
They all have 5 screws.
I think that
I know. That's Anyways.
that Marshall book you had that one day was pretty cool. Just
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty
What's that
amps
one
and
called? It should just be called That Marshall Book.
I think
that would
it's
work.
called.
Yeah.
It might very well be Marshall Amps.
Yeah.
A history.
Do you remember? Yeah, the history of Marshall. Do you remember what the author was?
I
can't remember.
don't off the
Okay.
top of my head, but
It's got like
It is rare
it's
that
got a
Tony
white.
doesn't know
It's
stuff
got a
like
white
this.
Marshall on the cover, so you can't really miss it.
Yep.
It comes up a lot. And there's Jimmy Page just put out a couple of those really big, thick books. One of them's called Anthology, and it's got pictures of all of his gear.
oh yeah,
It's
that's
really cool. It's kind of
yeah.
pricey.
The Page Jimmy Page book is another one. It's a thick book, good one to have. Has his costumes in it. It has his amps. It
sick.
has guitars. That's an excellent one.
Yeah.
Rob, do you have any favorites?
No.
Rob doesn't
Yeah,
read.
Rob doesn't read.
Schematics. All my
That's what
books
I
have
was gonna say, yeah.
schematics.
Don't you guys
Well,
think it's weird how
well,
much?
how about the Vox book
Oh, that's a good
that I
one.
brought
Jesus.
in? That thing is like
That's
the
overwhelming.
Bible of
Yes.
Vox.
So we're just saying that Vox book and everything. So maybe
You should like.
if
put
you
these
have
up.
questions, you can send them to me, and I will send them to Tony, and he can answer them. But Tony, you have a substantial. I just thought of a great book name, Amphology.
I think there is one.
There's
Well,
gotta be
that
one.
means it's great.
That's great.
See, I win.
Ralph, do you have any favorite books? The coffee table books?
No, I got a coffee table book of guitars from my brother once a long time ago, and I don't know where it is anymore. But I do remember there's like one picture in it that like it's always in my mind, and it's like of like Mark Bolan from T-Rex, his guitar,
Yeah.
and it just like that Les Paul, like I was just that picture, just it's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you like cars and guitars, the Billy Gibbons
Oh, yeah.
book is definitely worth
That
picking
one's
up.
super good. Actually, I just pre-ordered. This is going to be exciting. I'm going to reveal.
It's coming tomorrow.
I just ordered Johnny Marr's, or it's called Marr's Guitars.
All of Johnny Marr's
Yeah,
guitars.
all of Johnny Marr's guitars. I ordered one for me, and I ordered one to give away.
Aren't
So
you special?
I am special. So, hey, listen to that, everybody. Anyways, all that is to say, there's some really great books out there. And the cool
Tons.
thing is, if you don't like it, you can return them, but you probably will like it. And if you're
Yeah.
building a little collection, I don't know. It might be a little tougher out where Stuart lives because, shipping and stuff.
Well,
might
the
be a little bit weird.
Rickenbacker book is a UK published edition. so
True,
he should
true.
be able to pick that
I
up.
bet the Marshall one is too, right?
One of the Marshalls is UK.
Okay. Well, at any rate, Stu, hopefully that is helpful, and hopefully anybody else who might be looking, hey, if nothing else, you know what's right around the corner? The holidays.
The holidays.
That's good. That's good gift stuff, man.
Make a list. Check it twice.
And we'll be giving away that Mars Guitars book, so keep your ears peeled for that. Patreon supporters,
Can we put a Mars bar in with the Mars book?
if you can find one.
I would probably put it outside of the book.
Yes,
just to make
don't put it in the book.
In the book would be
I don't know
smooshed.
about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chocolatey
I'm sure
mess.
you could get one from the UK.
If you got it from
Mars
Tony,
bar.
it'd be a Mars Bar wrapper.
It's a bookmark.
Yes,
It's
a
a bookmark.
That would be a great bookmark. Anyways, okay. So that was announcements. Let's get on with what's going on in our music worlds. Tanya
Yes.
Bolansky,
Yes.
the pickleballing wonder.
I haven't played pickleball in a while.
Okay, well, you look like you just got through playing pickleball. Go.
You
go
say
do
I'm
your
a
thing.
sweaty mess?
Yes, yes. But you still look like a lady. Go ahead.
Always a lady.
Yes.
Well, Todd, this week was something kind of special. I love getting a surprise in the mail, a good surprise in the mail. I've gotten some other surprises in the mail that not so good.
Yeah.
Our good friend and Grand Poobah, John Williams.
Yes.
You probably know him from composing all of the
I
musical
knew
themes
you were
to
going
all
to go
the
there.
movies.
That's the absolute lowest thing. If you go apple picking with Tony, you don't have to worry about it because he just gets the ones right off the ground. All the good ones are still on the tree.
Low lying fruit. So a while back, I had sent him some scrap acrylic materials, and what John does is he has a company called Grizzly Bay,
Yes.
and they make shaving brushes and other things, and he uses some of the recycled plastics in the handles, and just out of the blue, this box shows up. I said, John Williams. Oh yeah, I know John Williams. And it's like a very small box. I said, well, there's no pick guard in there. But there is this luscious.
Ooh, my.
Look at that.
And is that badger hair?
I would say that's a badger hair. Yeah.
Wow. So
That's pretty neat.
And I don't think any of the
cool.
plastic that I sent him is in this one, but it's a really cool handle.
That is.
Really nice. I don't know if anybody uses a shaving brush.
Wow.
Rob doesn't, I don't think. I think he's more of an electric guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it.
Rob's still
Gotta
trying to
get
grow
in
his
and out
first
quick.
beard. I actually have an idea for John that I got to tell him off air,
Oh,
which I think would be pretty rad.
okay.
But I won't talk about it right now.
Use human hair?
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
really neat.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
So thank you, John. That was a great surprise. I really appreciate it. And hey, let me know if you need more plastic ever. Just
Surprise.
I generate more scrap plastic than the average bear
Yes.
or the average badger.
If anybody has a Zippo within 100 feet of your thing, it's gone. Yes. Jeez. Anyways, okay, Rob. Ralph. Let's go to Ralph.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on in your music
Hey.
world besides building? Can you give us something that doesn't include building pedals?
Yeah. So recently, I find it's been a while because it's hard to get people together because of busy schedules, kids, and all that kind of stuff. But I jammed with a group of friends that I used to jam with, like before the pandemic, like every week, and then pandemic, and then kids. So haven't jammed much. Got the occasional thing, and I reached out, and I was just like, "Hey, can you guys jam this weekend?" And they're like, "Yeah." And that was awesome because I finally got to jam with some friends again. So I built a pedal board for the jam, got together with those guys, 2 drummers, which is like, it's always hard to find a drummer. And somehow I managed to have 2 drummers in the room at the same time.
That's crazy.
Bassist. Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
How was the first, when the first song kicked off, was it like sweet, or were you shaking off the cobwebs? Because usually when you haven't jammed in a while, it's like magic. That first couple, the first 5 or 6 songs, it just feels really good. Or it can go the other way. So which was it for you?
Well, we do like free form sort of jams. So it takes a little bit of warm up time. Like
Okay.
the first, like the jams turn out to be like 20-minute long, like, where the hell are we going type of thing. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Like fish or
Yeah, well, it's just whatever. Like the bassist lays down a groove and drummer starts drumming, and then in this case the other drummer starts drumming, and then I'm like playing guitar and trying to figure out, okay, what can I do over this? And then just kind of like go. And it was like the first 5 minutes where it's a little rocky, and then we went back to the like, the playing off each other and having fun. And because for a while there we were like really in tune and just could read each other, like, okay, you're going to do this now, are you? Okay, I'm going to do this then. And it was, yeah. It was fun. Finally get to play live.
What did you? Where were you playing? Gear wise.
I brought, we kind of talked a little earlier. I brought like my Black Pearl, my Gens Benz Black Pearl 30,
Ooh.
which is a cool amp.
Okay.
It's got Alnico speakers in it, and it was getting kind of buried in the mix. So then I switched over to my deluxe reverb, which is like a Mojo Tone kit build that I made, and all of a sudden it was just like I just elevated in the mix, and it was sitting on top of everything, which was really fun. And I was playing my what guitars did I bring for that? I brought I have this Ibanez like semi hollow body or hollow body. What is it? It's the AES something. I don't know. That's a really fun guitar to play. And then I also brought, what did I bring also? Oh, my Epiphone Les Paul with P90s. It's like a 56 gold top. And
That's
brought
cool.
that, yeah. And then went through my pedal board, which I built for the jam session, which is real small pedal board, like had a wall, the Gary Clark Jr. wall, which is like really, really good. Fuzz lands on it, of course. The Strymon ultraviolet Univibe thing that I just got, which is fun. Walking on the Moon flanger from Electro Harmonics.
So anyways, that's our 4 on the floor. That sounds great, man. And are you going to keep this going or?
Shall I continue? I wasn't sure if. Okay, no.
Well,
okay,
I meant the jam.
Well, hopefully, as getting people together sometimes can be hard. So
yes,
but I do miss jamming. So I'm hoping maybe I can get these guys to listen to the podcast, and
I like that idea.
Yeah,
I like that idea a lot.
They'd be like, "Yo, I talked about us."
Yes, indeed. You're gonna have to go listen, find out all about this jam session. All right, Rob, how about yourself?
I bought a bunch of pedals on
what?
On a whim. That's why I sent you the picture last Saturday.
Oh, those are all new?
Yeah, well, everything stacked in boxes were. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did the math. I was looking on Reverb, and I want to try out some other JHS pedals and Keeley stuff, and I was like, well, they're going for almost new price, and then if I buy it and I end up reselling it, I've got whatever fees, and so that's a loss too. And I was like, but with an online realtor or retailer, I've got 30 days to return, and I'm like, well, if I buy 5 or 6 of them and I keep half of them, it's kind of washes.
Absolutely.
Versus buying them used and all that. So, so I just bought like $1,400 worth of pedals on a whim.
Wow.
So, and then it's funny, a couple of them, I plugged them in and it was like whack, whack, turn the knobs, whack, whack. Well, that's too bad. Put it back in the box.
Yeah.
It was like 1 minute. I'm like, no, never mind on that one.
Yeah, that's like how, we're kind of treating it like CD shopping back in, when CDs were at the height, because you could actually go try them out, and which was great because they were $20.
Yeah.
Or you could sign up for Columbia House.
That's true too.
And get 13 or is it 20? 13?
I don't remember. They had different deals.
Yeah.
For a penny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a penny.
So anyway, so that was neat. So I found a couple of pedals that I was.
Anything that you want to share of note? That's what the show's about,
Sure.
Rob.
Well, one is.
I don't care about your mail purchases.
Okay. And I should have had this a long time ago. The Morning Glory.
Oh yeah. You can also ask me because I got a lot of these things.
I didn't think about that.
Which I have that the V4.
Well, I don't mind supporting.
Which is great.
If I like
well, then you can go buy it after.
Well, yeah.
But I'm just saying, trying them out.
I had a double barrel. And I still actually do have double barrel, but I didn't like the moonshine side, but I like the Morning Glory. So it might be cool to get one of those. So that the Clover. Have you tried that one yet?
I have.
That is a great pedal.
Yeah, I know.
Very versatile. Yeah, I was surprised on that one. I think those are the two standouts. Yeah, everything else is just
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, yeah, you need to check. We'll talk.
Okay.
Thanks for stimulating
Chris,
the economy.
Chris is like, what's this guy keep bringing me stuff for?
Yeah, that was great. We had a good
he'll
run
play
there.
it.
So I think last time I was here, I was collecting Blue Note records. And just after I got through that little jazz phase, I got a bunch of sweet records. And so now I'm back into the Sabbath. So I've just been buying. I have most of that first 8 with Ozzy. There's a couple that were. The interesting thing about those old records is they weren't mastered. The records weren't mastered like they are today, where someone masters them and then everyone gets that copy. They have the tapes and they send them out, and then the different plants or like certain companies will master the record for that pressing.
Really?
So you get all these different, like the earlier pressings might be a little darker. Then of course, like with Sabbath, you have the UK tapes. They make a copy and they send them over to Warner Brothers, and then the people in the UK, Vertigo, they master their version off the original tape, and then they send it to the tape. They send a copy to the US. So like the UK presses sound killer. I think that's the same thing with the Beatles, maybe even with Hendrix. Those are fresh tapes they're cutting, but they're mastering when they're cutting the lacquer. So I have all the U.S. presses of these old records, and there's a couple that aren't as clean as I'd like, but they're still fun. So, and you get to check the different mastering. So it's interesting. Like,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to get a hold of. They're really expensive. The UK presses, and they come on these Vertigo swirl labels. They're super sick. But like the old, like a lot of those UK presses of Zeppelin, and Sabbath. They're pretty pricey to get a good one.
Like, what's pretty pricey?
So like $600 for like
Whoa!
That's
What?
pretty pricey.
yeah, but you can get ones that are like in very good plus
Wonderful
condition.
audio technology. The hell?
I mean, the Zeppelin stuff, the Zeppelin stuff goes. Sometimes it can be like a couple grand, $1,000, $1,500 for some of these records. So
Jared probably has two.
I got
another one because
yeah. There's some forums that you can jump on, like the Steve Hoffman forum. You know the Hoffman forum at all? Mm-mm. They have like 160 pages of forum over the last like 10 years. They keep it going of the best Zeppelin presses. So they get a little crazy with it. I'm not looking to go that crazy, but they had like, it was a 60 pager for the Sabbath, the best vinyl Sabbath pressing. So you kind of go through and see which mastering the people are listening. Anyway, so I'm down the rabbit hole in Sabbath
The
right
only
now.
thing I could think of when you were telling me that is, I'll look at that forum after I eat my breakfast burrito.
Yeah, it's been fun. People go crazy for this stuff. So anyway, it's been interesting. It's fun collecting Sabbath. Those records do sound amazing. So I'm digging them. The U.S. presses are darker. I think Sabbath.
What is your favorite Sabbath album?
I don't know.
To actually listen to, not like, you know,
I think
that
it's the
made a biggest impression on you.
the first six are and they change. So maybe volume 4, but then you have Paranoid is a great record. I know it gets a little overplayed. Master of Reality, super sick. It's when he dropped to C sharp, and so it's like that the invention of like that stoner rock, Into the Void, and like Children of the Grave. So I'd say between like maybe 3 and Master of Reality and volume 4. But then they had that Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Sabotage. They started experimenting a little bit. It got pretty crazy with some of the stuff they were doing. So I love all 6 of those records for sure.
Yeah, I like Sabotage.
Yeah, Sabotage is killer.
Yeah, it's great.
Probably Ozzy's best vocal performance on all those records.
And that album cover always tripped me out. What? How'd they do that?
What about you, Todd? What's going on in your musical world this week?
Let me tell you. This week, I consulted, actually, my good friend Rob, after consulting my good friend Tony, and then I reconsulted my good friend Tony. Then I consulted Jared, who deferred me to Tony and Rob.
So he's playing us all off each other. Huh.
I'm just getting it. I'm being informed. I'm being informed. So I've got.
Why are you leaving Chris out?
Well, I didn't call him. I didn't want to bother him with it.
But it'll bother all three of us.
Well, yes. So actually, this is not about the second thing that I called you about. That I didn't call you about. Tony. Yeah. Anyways, so Hello Sailor, the aforementioned Hello Sailor.
Hello, Sailor.
Yes. I got a film sound amp from him, one of these old 40s film projector amplifiers. And I got this several years ago. We talked about it on the podcast. But it's actually in a film projector case it's like pre-war. Which is amazing that all of that stuff, made it out the UK and is in fine condition and it's solid. But
you realize that's almost 100 years old.
That's bananas, man. It's true. It's crazy. Anyways, the problem was that Joe, in trying to make sure I got a good product and everything, and also not to break the absolute bank, he put neodymium. Neodymium. It was one of the things. Neodymium Celestion speaker in there,
which has a lot of aluminium.
Aluminium. It's super, super light, but it's just too tight and crispy for this sound, which is, I guess, I was talking to you guys. I'm like, it was probably as close as I'd get to an old Tweed sound, right? Generally speaking.
Okay.
I'm guessing. That's why I asked you guys. Anyways. So
I think it's a different beast.
It's a 15-watt amp.
And
is it that one right there?
No, I keep referencing it because it's been there for a long time. But now it's back in my house. Anyways, point being, it's an old 15-watt amp that was just not sounding quite right. And I wanted to play it, and I wanted to be able to use it. And so I consulted the local used guitar place and picked up a hemp cone, Alnico 30-watt speaker for like $30.
Was it only $30?
And that thing sounds fantastic.
Nice.
At least a whole lot more fantasticer than it did.
Well, and I'll go on the record as saying you couldn't pay me to use neodymium speakers.
Hey, easy. I
just
gotta
don't
try
like
to
them.
sell this thing, man.
Oh, okay. Except for Todd's. Todd's is really,
Todd's
really
is
good.
magic.
Best. That is.
You want that Sabbath first 6 album sound?
That's the one.
That's the neodymium.
Yeah. through a Stratocaster.
And I am a fan of Alnico speakers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do
Well,
like.
and why? So when I asked you, Tony, why did you say that one right away? Because I wanted the speaker to do what?
You want it to. I mean, it's Alnico speakers are more efficient, and they break up sooner.
Right.
And they, I mean, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. They tend to be a little bit brighter. But I think for the most part, there's something about that sound that I really like. Now, I also like greenbacks, Celestian greenbacks, which are ceramic speakers, but maybe the voice coil size is the same on those.
I don't know. I'd have to. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, to me, it's like using a real vintage part. Even
Right.
though it's modern,
And I like the idea of keeping it lightweight too, because the backs of those things are usually relatively small compared to like a giant ceramic
yeah.
one. But anyways, yeah, I plugged it in and it did exactly what I was hoping it to do. I played it for like a good 30 minutes, and I just had it alligator clipped. And I was like, wow, I plugged it in and bang, it was distortion and it sounded great. And I was like, okay, now we're in business. That's awesome.
What brand was it that had a hemp cone? Do you have any idea?
No.
Huh, interesting.
I can find that out.
I think it was called Hemptone. Hemptone. No.
It was a Sin.
Cone Tuppy? No.
Cinn? Cinn? Something like
That's a
that.
new one on me.
Anyways, yeah.
And
it's
if
like,
you don't like the speaker, you can always smoke it.
yes. Anyways,
yeah.
woo. So that's cool. We got to get moving here. Tony's talking too much. All right. Hey, you know what? Speaking of Tony talking too much, we need to talk about the fine folks at Tour Gear real quick.
Oh, yes.
You know what they got down there, Tony?
I think they've got cables.
Yes, they do. You really had to think about how many times we've done this. Yes, but more importantly,
What?
they have custom multi-packs. We talk all the time about the sizes and the configurations and all that stuff.
And loading up your shopping cart.
Yeah, you can go on and create your own 12-pack, 16-pack, and 24-pack.
Holy
Pretty
cow.
cool. So you get a little, deal off of putting all those things together. And
if you check out, what happens?
you enter the guitar knobs, all lowercase, all one word, and you're going to save 10% off your custom multi-pack.
That sounds like a deal to me.
Get on there and do it. Don't waste any time. Do it right now.
I might take a look at that and see.
Yeah, I'm going to, do that. All right. Anyway, so thank you, Tour Gear, for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor, which Ralph kind of already walked through a little bit. So, Ralph, do you want to reintroduce that?
Oh, that was just the pedal board for the jam. I got a different thing.
He's got a different thing.
He's got a different one.
And we need
Let's
a
talk about
special
it.
introduction.
We do need a special introduction.
Don't
Rob,
point at me. I don't have a clue what you're
Rob,
talking
you
about.
are the reluctant person.
What? I usually black out during this period.
Chris, do you want to? I don't know. He doesn't. He's still joining. Tony, go. Okay, watch and learn.
Watch and learn.
I watch and learn.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3.
4 on the floor.
All right, Ralph Gottschalk. Wonderful audio technology. What is your 4 on the floor? Again, V2, part
V2. Yeah. So V2, I thought I'd go a little bit different. Like
Good, because
4
that
on the
would be really boring if we did the same one over.
Just in a different order.
Yeah, we'll just clip it from the last
I'm
episode.
glad you put the
That would have been
deep thinking
hilarious
into
if you
that
did
one.
that.
Yeah. I thought about, because 4 on the floor is kind of hard. You got to pick 4 pedals. There's so many awesome pedals. So I thought I'd go with the pedals that inspired me to really love that type or just pedals in general.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the first one is the Keeley Tesla MK3. It's I got this on a whim It's like it's got a germanium transistor in there. It's a tone bender style pedal. I got it because I was like, this sounds cool. Like I want to get into some more classic fuzz sort of stuff. And I was just blown away with how this thing sounded. And it has that, what you think of or you imagine as a germanium sound. Like it's totally got that in spades. And it kind of like opened my eyes to that sound and kind of opened the doors to like other sort of fuzz sounds. And I just kind of like, it's sort of like, it's the entry point into fuzz in another way for me.
Cool. Nice.
Does it sound good with single coils, or is it sometimes humbuckers have a hard time with those kinds of fuzz? It seems like, is it better for single coils, and then do you run it into an amp that's already crunchy, or is it better on like a clean platform?
Dang, Chris earning his pay over here. Holy cow.
Ooh, that's a good question. I usually run, when I play single coils, I usually crank the gain on my amp a little bit, so I'm at the edge of breakup. When I play humbuckers, I usually run my amp fairly clean. Okay. So, and it actually sounds good in both of those situations, but I haven't really tried edge of breakup humbuckers with it.
Gotcha.
Or super clean single coils with it. But
all right, cool. That's good. It seems like it'd be versatile then.
I think it's pretty versatile. I mean, it is tone bender style,
yeah.
So like you have those limitations. But
can you just briefly explain what tone bender style is in your own words to those who might be new to this kind of thing?
That's a hard, like, you know what, tone benders to me sound really nasally, like just kind of that's really the only word description I can. It's like it's a fuzz, like I think early Zeppelin maybe.
It was that Zepp 1 for sure. It's kind of like you had the fuzz face thing. It seemed like Hendrix was doing that, and then I guess the tone benders were floating around there with the 3 transistor ones, I guess.
Yeah, and they have this sort of their vibe is more midsy, I think, like, and it's really like.
It's less about the Velcro and a little bit more about the.
There's a smoothness, but to me, it's like it's vocally, but it's like more in nasally. I can't really describe it any other way.
Does that one clean up at all? I mean, they're not necessarily known for cleanup, but I was just wondering.
No, that one doesn't clean up.
Okay.
Tony, you're gonna have to break a 20 so I can.
I know. Jeez, give that man a $2 bill.
I'm just genuinely curious because mine don't clean up either. I was just curious if that one does. And I don't necessarily need it to either. I just was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I before that I hadn't really had much experience with germanium, playing with germanium style pedals. Like, I don't think germaniums are magic, but I do love the tone that the germanium, like the idea of it, and also it does have a sound, and that pedal really does it. It really showcases that sound, and that sound is really. I was like, oh, that's a cool sound.
Awesome,
nice.
Here's my only gripe with Keeley pedals. And everybody's like, excuse me, Todd. Collectively, everybody eased off the gas pedal right there on their morning drive. The foot switch is positioned rather deep inset into the pedal. And those of us who have big shoes that house big feet, that's kind of a hassle. Because all of a sudden you got to be aware of where you're stepping. That's my only thing. Robert, pull that thing back, buddy. You'll be fine. You got plenty of room.
Well, he's got a battery
that's what I was gonna say,
thing in there. That's
nobody
why.
Nobody does that. Come on, except Rob.
I
Okay.
do.
Oh, brother. Of course you do.
Of course.
Yeah, I have batteries in all my fuzzes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's two. All right, fine.
Number
Keep it
2.
there. Number 2.
Number 2 is the Ibanez Sound Tank Series Super Chorus, the CS5. It's everybody makes fun of the Sound Tank Series because it's like this ugly beetle plastic thing.
They were ugly.
Yeah.
Super ugly. It was the first chorus I ever bought, and I just love the way it sounds. It sounds so good. To me, to my ears, it is what I want chorus to sound like. And every other chorus pedal I've ever played or bought, I compare to this one. The problems are it's not true bypass. The switching can be kind of finicky. I mean, not being true bypass is whatever. It's a different debate, but like it's kind of finicky with the foot switch. I need to probably repair it or something.
You're selling the heck out of this.
I love the way it sounds.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean,
It's a piece of crap, but I love it.
I love the way it sounds.
Can you move the foot switch closer to the middle of the pedal?
Please.
Well, it's big. It looks like, I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have
a
a pulled up
beetle
right
wing.
now.
You
We're
can't
looking
move it anywhere.
Yeah. It's great. Now, have you compared that to some of the other Ibanez series? They did one thing well, which was, they brought out series, so they gave a new reason for people to get those. And now as collectors, people are still going back and getting them, which that's pretty clever. But have you compared that chorus to some of the other series?
No, I have not within the Ibanez series. I've only compared it with
there
other
you go.
choruses that I've bought. Yeah.
That's
There's your
new
homework.
mission. That's going to be your next 4 on the floor.
4 different
Ibanez
Ibanez
series,
courses.
4 different Ibanez choruses. Yeah.
Oh, man. Bad news bear.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3, I'm going to go with the Boss DD5.
Yep.
My first delay pedal. And I just pulled this thing out after I've had it on my pedal board for years and years and years. And then I went on and did different delays. And I pulled this one out because I was thinking about what pedals inspired me to get other pedals. And I didn't really understand delay till when I got this pedal, like, I don't know, when I was like 16 or 17 or something like that. And it just, if you look at this delay, like, you can't believe that this thing was released in the 90s. Like, it's got multiple delay time settings. It's got a tap tempo option. If you plug in an external foot switch, you could do like all the tap, like the quarter note, triplet, dotted eighth, whatever you want here. And then it's got a reverse mode.
Yep.
Like, and it's really good too. I can't believe this delay came out back when it did. Boss was pretty revolutionary back then, and this delay was like, it was the tone and the delay that I used for years and years and years, and I still compare delays to this delay.
Yeah.
And you can pick one up on Reverb for about $80.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, they made a million of them. I had 2 of those on my board for 15-ish years or so.
Did you use one for reverse and the other for regular?
Mm-hmm. One went forward, one went back. Yeah.
Nice.
This was before they had, probably the only programmable delay at this time was the DL4. So it was before they had, so I had 2 different delay settings. But yeah, DD5, man, I've still got at least one in a box somewhere.
Wow.
There you go.
So if you ever want to borrow it, Todd,
Get it out of the box.
Oh,
Play it.
yeah.
Use it live.
How about number 4?
Number 4 is a weird one. It's the Boss VWA.
Whoa.
What the hell is that?
You got us.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Oh, wait, I've seen that.
Yeah. It's this
I've never
weird,
played one, but I've seen it.
It's built like a tank.
Yeah.
It's this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like their early, what is it, like, what do they call it? Like CMOS, like
It looks like
emulation
RoboCop's
stuff.
feet.
It's totally RoboCop feet. It's got like multiple settings. It does a Crybaby style wah, a Vox wah, a Morley style wah. It's got this like weird voice setting that like is absolutely horrible. It's got a drive. Like, it's got a built-in distortion, which is just atrocious. Like, do not use the
He is
distortion.
really selling this stuff,
Yes.
isn't he?
And does it have an acoustic setting?
Oh, if only. If only.
12-string.
But the actual wah sounds are really good. Like, I discovered like wah in a different way when I started playing this pedal. Like, I had a Vox, like I don't know. I don't remember exactly
the
the model.
chrome tops.
Yeah, the chrome top, like the old one that
Yeah.
you get way a long time ago. And it was so trebly. Like I bought an EQ pedal just to like tame it when I'd use it. But then I got this thing, and it's just like the difference between the Morley style and the Vox style and the Crybaby style was just like eye-opening for me, and I really kind of honed in what kind of tone I wanted out of a wah. And then the kicker on it for me was the Univ setting, the Univibe setting, which at first I was like, what is this? This is silly, because it would like warble as you press down on the foot rocker thingamajigger. But as I was in a band and I needed to do an organ style sound or whatever, or that's what I wanted to do. And so I was rocking a chorus, and I was like, oh, well, there's this Univ setting. Well, I'll just set it to that. And I was using that, and it opened my eyes to like univibes. All of a sudden it's like, there's this thing called a univibe, and it's so cool. It's like the coolest pedal out there for modulation. And so this wah, it really opened my eyes to like all the different kinds of wah sounds, how you can make, how they like, what kind of, like, how do you want to use it, like toe back with that little gnarly growl, or like less of it, and the really trebly front when you push down. All the settings are here. You can do it all. And then there's that Univibe setting that just showed me what Univibe is. So super, like, for its time, also a super cool pedal.
What year was that made?
I think it was early 2000.
Okay. And would you put that first in your chain, or you thinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
First in my chain. This was before I was really into fuzz. So
okay.
Like, because it wouldn't work really well with vintage style fuzzes because it's buffered.
Gotcha. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, that is intriguing. That is very intriguing.
It's also cool that the 4 pedals you came up with, or that you're putting forward, aren't like super boutique or pricey. They're kind of like niche and cool, but you can get like that chorus for $50.
Yeah,
which I think is cool.
That's like a $400 board right there. No, just kidding. The first one is about $270.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the first one's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And then you have to, reposition the foot switch. So they're accounting.
Yeah, you got
Or
New housing. New housing.
Yeah, new housing. All right, man. Well, that's very cool. Thank you for sharing that to round 2 of this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Fuzzlands, the newest, right? The newest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The newest.
it's the newest. The newest offering from Wonderful Audio Technology. I was very excited when I saw a post of this. I immediately hit him up and I said, hey, man, we need to get you back on the show. And he said, affirmative, let's do it. Then
Can I read the inscription that is on the inside of the back cover?
Yes, please.
It says, and this is number 37, this is but a step on your journey for tone. I hope you stay a while. And it's signed by Ralph.
I like that a lot. Ralph, we talked about this before a little bit, but I feel like you read a lot.
Oh.
Lie to me. Just say
don't.
yes.
Yes.
Don't
I
leave me
read,
hanging
I read
out
a
here.
ton. I always read.
And he watches a ton of movies.
I read all day long.
Yeah.
I actually do. I read emails all day long.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that I bring that up again is because you go to great lengths in your packaging with a storyline to your pedal, and you're very clever with your wording and everything. So,
thanks.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't read, I think you'd make a good writer, man.
Oh, thank you.
You are more than welcome. You have clever little things on the inside. It says, protect our wetlands, rock our fuzzlands.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, you got a future in copywriting. Vintage, modern? Nah, both. That takes, trust me, I got a bunch of copywriters on my staff. It's not the easiest thing in the world to find. And then you have another little thing here, and this is my favorite. LED brightness adjust. I mean, whoa, what a headline that is. Yeah, that's it. But that's a fantastic aspect of this pedal, because that is one gripe that I know a lot of people have, is blinding LEDs.
And you know what? The
Oh, yeah.
outside of, we were talking earlier about film sound projectors.
This is what it feels
That's
like.
what the finish on this and the
of an
color
old projector.
of an old projector.
It is. Yes, that's your next pedal. Make a thing based on the projectors or something. So let's get into, first of all, what this does, and then you can give us the backstory on how you got there. Okay?
Sure.
Why don't you walk us through it?
Well, it's a fuzz pedal that I love fuzz. I've been like analyzing fuzz circuits for a while now, and I started designing a fuzz way back when a friend of mine was like, "Hey, check out this like album, like it's got such a cool fuzz sound on it." And then I was like, "Okay, yes, that is cool. I want to make something like that." But as I was designing the circuit, I just kind of like kept like going weird places with it, and I designed like multiple versions with different settings, like knobs for some of the settings. And then I realized like knobs can get you in trouble. Sometimes you can turn a knob and it sounds awful.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, maybe what if I did switches?
I love MIDI switches. I love them.
And then I was just trying to like design a fuzz that like gave you that vintage sound of like your Guitar Heroes, but also kind of like had a little bit of an element of its own character that could just kind of not be exactly with that. It's like not exactly the sound of your heroes, but like kind of in the style of, with a little bit of uniqueness sprinkled on, and
foundationally.
And like versatility, like, because sometimes you want a gated fuzz, but sometimes you don't, and just that's sort of, it just kind of came like as I was playing it, and I'd play in my jam band or I'd play in my band, and I had a version of it on my pedal board for many years, and I just kept working at it and came up with Fuzzlands. So,
awesome. Now you just talked about some of the functionality of it. I think the most interesting thing about this, aside from the fact that it sounds great, thank you, Tony, he's turning it. You've got a volume and a fuzz, which is necessary on a fuzz pedal, but you also have roots, earth, and nature. These three toggles, there's two two-way toggles and one three-way toggle. This is where the fun begins, because there's all kinds of combinations. I mean, I think there's maybe an infinite, not an infinite, a finite. By infinite, I meant finite.
You meant
I tried to backpedal the minute you gave me the cockeye.
Infinite. You're not so good at math.
I am not. That's well established. There is a finite number of combinations,
but a lot
of finite of this. Yes. Anyway,
many combinations.
Let me do your taxes.
Well, in your defense, Todd,
yes.
the fuzz knob changes the character a lot. So like the switches do different things with the fuzz knob in different positions. So it is close to infinite.
Yes, Tony's going to do the what do you call that? The numbers on it.
Oh, the factorial.
Yeah, you're gonna tell us how many combinations are here. You can do it. You got a computer in your hand.
This is no computer; it's a phone.
I know. So tell us what the difference is between roots, earth, and nature.
So roots, with the roots in the up position, it's like kind of the input is closer to a fuzz face. It's not exactly a fuzz face, so it does very much interact with your guitar pickups and the volume control in your guitar. So it's just like kind of more, I call that the vintage mode. It gives you it's not as much gain, but it gives you a lot of control as long as that pedal's sitting in the front of your chain. With the roots in the down position, it adds a JFET preamp stage, which kicks up the gain, really kind of like pushes the transistors and adds like some really cool character to the sound it is cooler with buffers if you have a buffer in front of it, and it's less reactive to your volume control, but it still cleans up pretty nicely. Earth is a switch that changes the input frequency. So like in the up position, it's a little bit, it's thinner, but it does feel like it has like more of a mid push. In the down position, it's more earth, bassier, thicker. And then nature controls the voltage of the transistors. So in the down position, it's cleaner, but you really can get that nasally, as I was talking earlier, tone bendery sort of sound as you pull up the gain on the fuzz. And then if you switch on the roots to the down position, you really hit that hard, and it really has a unique character to it. In the middle position, it's smoother sounding. And then in the up position, it's gated. So it's like starving the voltage. And you can get that splatty, sort of gated, Velcro-y sort of fuzz sound.
Got it. Well, that's a pretty complete picture, and all that in one pedal. But most importantly, you get to toggle your way to those things. And I think that is... All right, look, we had a little pedal show here called Pedals and Pints. It was our second one, put on by the lovely gentleman at Thimble Wasp. And it was mostly Ohio builders. We had a couple from Michigan, I believe. And a couple guitar builders, and it was great.
Yeah.
I put this out on a board. I put together a fuzz board. This was one of several fuzzes that I had on the board. And people loved playing with it. Because
that's awesome.
They're
Thanks,
just like,
man.
oh, man, look at... well, it's just, we're dumb humans. We like to flick switches and stuff.
We are.
It's not that hard.
We are tactile by nature.
Yes, and that's got it in spades, and it sounds great.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not really a bad sound in it. I thought it was really interesting. The fuzz knob there isn't a bad position on the fuzz knob. So you can set it in a lot of different places and it still sounds good. Was that difficult to do that? It doesn't seem like many other pedals have that functionality on a fuzz pedal where no matter where you set the fuzz knob, there's it's useful in some way.
Yeah, that was definitely, it was difficult. And it was like one of the challenges that because I love fuzz, but like most fuzz, you just turn it all the way up because otherwise it's not fuzzy anymore.
Right.
And I really was working hard and trying random different ideas on the breadboard to try to figure out how to like do sort of a classic style fuzz, but make that fuzz control have a usable range throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you somehow figured out a way to do it because it definitely happens. That's sick. And I thought the roots switch was really cool because, like you were saying, you do have that. If you want to have it like as an always on, you can just keep it up, and that way you can use your guitar volume to kind of control gain, which is sweet. And then if you're just going to use the fuzz as more of like probably how you were using the Keeley maybe, where it's like just like a go big sound where you're not using the cleanup, then you can just flick it down. And that's actually pretty thick sounding. I mean, I know that the nature switch gets that tone bender if it's in down position, but you're almost in tone bender territory. It seems like when you put that root switch down. And then if you want, because some tone benders do gate. They do have that gated sound. So then you can kind of get maybe like a Mark I sound with the nature switch up. So yeah, I think you did a great job with this pedal. Todd dropped it off at my house a little while ago, and it was really, really cool. So nice work.
Thanks. Awesome. Todd, Chris gets $2 more. This really is, yeah.
By the way, we are desperately trying to figure out how to... See, I'm not the only one that's terrible at math. I could call my daughter who's like, math whiz, and she could tell me like probably as I was asking her.
By we, he means him.
No, well, yeah. Okay. Anyways, a lot is the number. I'm pretty sure that's the science of it.
But Chris, you nailed it, man. I mean, like those were my thinking when I was designing that pedal. Like all those ideas, like trying to accomplish all of that stuff.
And sometimes when you try to accomplish everything, you end up falling short a little bit. But I don't think you really. I don't think you did. I mean, it really does sound great in all the positions. It'd be hard to kind of figure. I guess it's per recording project, or per song, or per band. I guess probably more per band. I don't see myself like switching it, maybe between different songs if I'm playing in a band. But if I go to a recording session, you're going to have a lot of functionality with the little EQ adjustments, and just depending on what the song's calling for, you're going to have. If this is the only fuzz you bring, you're probably going to be able to find what you're looking for in there. So that's
awesome.
Really well done.
Thank you. Awesome.
Indeed. He was the first person outside of the that me and Tony that I let borrow to play with it, because I knew he'd put it through the ringer, and he's a really great player. So
Todd, what I come up with, because we have a two-way switch, two two-way switches,
yes,
and a three-way switch.
Yes. Don't count the knobs. That doesn't really.
Well, the knobs play into a different category, but there are 12 possible combinations of those switches.
So infinite.
So if 12 is infinite to you, yes.
12 possible
combinations of switches.
A lot.
Yes.
No, there's way more than that.
No, try it.
Yeah, there's way more than that. No, because if you think about it, so if one switch is in an up position,
right?
While that switch is in an up position, you are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible combinations.
Oh, now
put that one in a down position.
Now he's flexing.
Then you get 5, and then if you put another one in up position, then this one can.
He only comes out when he's just like, you know what? I've had it with this nonsense of badness.
You've literally gone through all the things.
I draw the picture.
You draw the picture.
Draw the picture.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. Rob's gonna do it because he's
permutation.
Thinking of how to complain about amps in the meantime.
Continue the podcast.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Compromission, signore. Here we go. So, anyways, this is a great sounding pedal, and what I am actually, honestly, I'm not blowing smoke here. I'm excited that it's a great sounding pedal because the first pedal you sent us was outstanding.
Oh, thanks.
You remember that one?
Yeah, Ancient Echoes.
Ancient Echoes. I actually sent that off to several people, including former guest and 7-horse band guy, Joey Callio. So sent that out to California. I'm like, man, you got to check this out, because he was going down to Sunset Studios to record, and he's like, man, I'm looking for something that's got some atmosphere. I'm like, I'm sending you a pedal. And I'm not sure if he used it or not on the recording, but I know he said he really dug it. So,
hey, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. So if you are interested in what we're talking about, and this Fuzzland sounds right up your alley, I would highly recommend the Ancient Echoes. Why don't you tell them about that just a little bit? You don't have to go deep.
Yeah, it's a reverb pedal that has a pre-delay in it, and then a feedback loop within the delay section, some modulation, and then like an expression input that you can control the feedback, and then there's a switch that like also controls the feedback, and it's very atmospheric. Like the name Ancient Echoes, it's kind of darker, it's kind of spooky, but it's got a vibe. It's like an instant. Well, somebody on Instagram commented when I did a little play demo of it. They're like, it's just like an instant atmospheric generator. Like it's not ambient, overly crazy, unless you, of course, turn up the reflections all the way up. Then it gets all washy and stuff. But you can. It's got a character to it that is ancient.
Well, I think something that I enjoy about your pedals, which we first encountered on the Ancient Echoes, is that you've got, a lot of pedals. If you take a Boss, right? You go, what is it? What is that? That's level. What is that? That's drive. What is that? It's like there's no guesswork to it. Which yours is like level, dampen, echo, resonance. You got rate and depth. That's fine. And then reflections, and then you got one foot switch. It's called summon, and that, whether you are doing it on purpose or not, you beg curiosity by that. And you also free everybody up who's using this from thinking they know what they are going to make this sound like. And I think that is a really unique thing in the pedal world. When we usually get pedals, we get a pedal because we think we know that it's going to do the right thing for us. But when you encounter something, you're like, I think I know what this is, but I don't know what summon means. I don't know what dampen means. I don't know what reflections means. In beyond what the pedal says, which is, reverb and delay, or
which is cool because then you end up, you turn it on and you turn the knobs to figure out what it's going to do, which
exactly
creates exploration, and you end up creating a cool, unique sound.
The mic's to your right.
Using your ears, and not just your eyes, right?
Yes.
I was talking to Todd, and I was actually leaning over so he could hear me.
And you're doing that again on Fuzzlands. Roots, or if somebody gets a fuzz and they go, okay, I know what a fuzz sounds like. Really? You know what roots sounds like? You know what earth and nature sounds like? I don't think so. And you're going to go through and check out something. You're like, you may not have switched on that in that case, and you turn on and go, whoa, wait, what's that? I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know if I was going to like that or not. I think that is such a hugely important thing, especially in today's realm of like an option for everything. You can get anything you want in pedals. But the idea of getting something you don't know you might want is pretty cool.
The mystery.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, and I don't want to get off topic, but orange amps, because it's got those little symbols.
Yeah.
So I don't, sorry, I don't want to derail, but when you're talking, because I do agree, I think that is interesting when you have these titles and you have to use your ears, not your eyes. So
we should do a 101 on that, Rob. Rob just signed up for a 101 on orange amps.
Okay. Oh, that's going to blow your mind. That's going to be the shortest episode ever.
Man.
I'm sorry we're going to have to buffer that with some other stuff.
You're the vibe assassin.
Well, and it's
you and your little plant.
No, it will be neat though. You'll be surprised.
Okay, you're the professional. Okay, so
that's really cool that like you're actually formulating my story, I think, for future pedals, because like both of those pedals, like the art kind of really inspired a lot about it. It's sort of, once I started settling in on the art, which all the art, by the way, is like my wife's doodles. I just grabbed that and I stick it on. I'm like, that's cool. I like that doodle.
You guys are talented, man. She's a great doodler.
Yeah, those are really cool on there.
And so like it sort of starts creating a story behind the pedal, and that story, like, and like I try to like create or modify, like I'll have an initial design and then I'll start thinking about the art, and then I try to like have the two play off each other to kind of create a vibe eventually.
Yeah.
And then the knobs and switches and stuff get named off of the vibe of that pedal. So Fuzzlands is, lands, and what's in lands? Earth and nature, and roots are trees because the art is trees. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, that's how it kind of formed.
Yeah. Keep it ambiguous. So here we go. I want to just share this, everybody. We were just talking about, how you're doing the copy. And the reason that I'm focusing on this is not because we're trying to break down all the tiny little elements of, your marketing and everything, but I think it's inspiring to think about this as a musician, okay? A reverb pedal born out of the idea that what has been colors what is now, and blurs the lines between traditional and ambient reverb tones, capable of room tonal thickening, springy neo-surf rock, drenched ambient decays, cavernous endless echoes, and a warbled sea cave reflections, all with a touch of lo-fi textural colorations. Who is not going to buy that based on that? I mean, seriously. Who doesn't want to dip into that stuff to bring cool tones to what you're trying to do? Because it's undefined. You make of that what what you're gonna. I just think that is so necessary in creating music. So thank you for just dropping that little bit of stuff. Anyhow,
Cool.
yeah. So keep doing it, man. That's what we're saying. Keep doing it.
I will.
Speaking of that, do you have anything on the outer edge of limits of what might be coming?
Horizon.
The horizon, whatever you might call the horizon.
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of things. And I always have ideas going in parallel. I think the thing that is the most close to being done, and I hope it gets done. I thought it was going to be done this year, but it's probably not. It's another fuzz. Champion Lecky.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's our pal.
Yeah. So last year he issued a challenge out to the pedal community to create a fuzz, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's like so devastating that it'll bring about the end of days, and it's the end of days fuzz challenge.
Right.
And he didn't finish his end of days fuzz challenge, and a couple people added their end of days fuzz, and I started working on mine. But pedal designs sometimes they can span a long time. They can, like, all my designs take years before they're ready. So I wasn't ready. I didn't finish that last year.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'm going to finish it this year, but I've got a fuzz that is really crazy, but also can be very usable. It's going to be 4 foot switches in 4 corners of the pedal, big enclosure, gnarly,
Wow.
like crazy, like sounding, but also like not gnarly. And then, yeah, it's right now. So I had all these like weird names for it, and this is subject to change. So disclaimer, but my wife was like, it's inspired by art from my wife. She drew like this cool robot looking over a city.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
That's
this is
rad.
it's totally cool. It's cartoony, but like cool, like interest. It still fits the vibe of the brand so far. And I gave it all these names, and I like tried to do like some Latin stuff, which I couldn't pronounce. And like, so as I couldn't even pronounce the name of my own pedal, I'm like, no. So she's just like, why don't you just call it Robots Destroy the Earth? And I was like, yes. Yes. So I hope to release Robots Destroy the Earth next year.
All
sometime.
right. Okay.
But that's
We
in the
got some
works.
time.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
it's-
that pedal with 4 foot switches on
That is-
one on
that's a
each
good idea.
corner.
Yeah, it's I mean, I took a lot of inspiration from Death by Audio in this sort of world,
You're
right?
gonna pull a hamstring doing that.
Yeah, well, it's not that big. But yeah, I've been publicly posting about it with a hashtag End of Days Fuzz, which you should follow because there's cool
End of
pedals
Days
that are
Fuzz,
being created.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's public. I haven't shared the artwork publicly yet. But just a couple more tweaks, just a couple more. I keep saying that every time I like do a design, it's like a couple more tweaks. And then 2 years later, I'm like, just a couple more tweaks.
Yeah. That's very exciting. And yes,
I just
Chris,
had one quick question. When you're doing these tweaks,
you can just jump in. You don't have to raise your hand.
Are you
but-
grabbing different guitars? Like, how do you, when you're doing these tweaks, are you doing different amps, or do you have like one setup that you use?
I try to play the pedal through as many amps as I possibly can. And then I also try to play it in a live-ish sort of setting, or like in a jam with the jam band or with my band. And then I try all the guitars I own. So I'm just, cool. And that's when I start discovering like, oh, it doesn't really work in this setting very well. So I start to try to think about like, how can I make that sound better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of maddening. It's like, why am I doing this to myself? Mm-hmm. But it's also cool because it's like an excuse to buy another amp or guitar.
Right.
There you go.
So.
ladies and gentlemen, if you found this as interesting as I think you probably have, to hear the backstory on how Ralph kind of got to where he is in the pedal making process and industry and all that stuff, and his past, his dark and ominous past. Episode 253 will get you there. Okay, so you might be saying, wait, what about his backstory? That's where you get it. Okay, so go listen to that. 253. Ralph, it has been a pleasure as it was last time, and we really appreciate the things that you're building out there and for sharing those with us. I need to check with Rob real quick. Did you find out ultimate permutations of
Tony was right.
what,
Between
12?
those switches, it would be 12 different pops.
I thought you were going to come up with like 600 or something.
I thought so too. No, I thought it was going to be like 30 or 40 or something, but nope, he was absolutely right. It was 12.
Well, that's 11 more than most fuzz pedals.
This is true.
Wow. All right. Well done, you math goons. All right, it is time. We're all going to pile into the El Camino, and we're going to take a really long road trip, so hopefully you got your jackets and a pillow for your butt, because we're going to Vegas.
Who's riding in the jump seat?
We'll let Chris. Well, Chris and Ralph can drive.
Okay.
They've, you know.
That sounds good. It's a long trip.
Yes.
You know what we're going to do? Well, first,
Yes.
we have to introduce
It is.
the segment of the show.
Yes.
Would you rather?
Work on that a little bit. Indeed. Here we go. It's a good one.
Okay, well, it's road trip time.
Yes.
Loading in the El Camino.
Yep.
And
I'm excited to go to Las Vegas, but I got to tell you, where you're taking me.
you
I've
gave
got
it
a-
away.
What? You
I
said
didn't
we're
even
going
get to say it.
Vegas.
I said we're going on a road trip.
We already established that.
You ruined
We were in
everything,
the jump
Todd.
seat. We're going a long ways. We needed jackets and Gatorade. Go ahead.
Okay. So yes, in fact, we are indeed driving all the way to Las Vegas to see
Sounds awesome.
the hottest, newest attraction,
I'm excited.
the Sphere.
That is absolute garbage.
No, it's true.
That is terrible. I can't stand the idea.
Haven't
the
you seen
Sphere.
the giant eyeball that they project on the outside? So for those who don't know, this is this stadium kind of thing that some developer created this sphere around the outside that has all these LED, millions and millions of LEDs, and they can program in all kinds of pictures and video and all this stuff. And, you know, the one that comes to my mind is...
It is 366 feet high.
That's
It is
awesome.
516 feet wide.
And
And
Pretty big.
it includes seating for 18,000 people.
1 million people.
1 million.
Incredible. Yes, go on.
So, this has become a spot that rock and roll bands like to play, have been playing, are playing.
Have played being one band.
One band.
Just one band so far.
One band so far. And that would be our good friends at
1.2 million LEDs.
That's a lot of LEDs. Do they have a brightness control?
Probably not, but Ralph does. All right, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, in this situation, this is going to be 2 different nights.
Yes.
And we're creating an imaginary night that, because right now U2 has the market cornered.
Yes.
They are the resident band, and they're doing all the stuff, all the albums, everything.
Everything.
Here, there, and everywhere. Bono is
Right.
talking about saving the trees and
Yeah.
all the stuff.
It literally looks like the, in Star Wars where, I can't remember which one, it was one of the later ones, where they're meeting and it's that huge arena. There's just thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And there's like these tiny little people at the bottom
Yes.
saying all the words and stuff.
Well, in this, we're just imagining this.
Yes.
So one option here is U2.
You too.
And lo and behold,
And those of us who are still annoyed that they put that stupid thing on your Apple, your iPhone. Yeah. Yeah. So keep going. This is getting better and better.
So there is another band bands.
Yes.
Double bill.
Oh, I can't wait because I'm definitely, whatever that is, I definitely am going to see that instead.
Yeah. All right. Well, think again because this is a double bill of Motley Crue and Poison. A double bill.
See, okay. Well, we all have to make our own cases. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tony.
You can make your cases.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you upset with me, Todd?
I got anxiety. I'm getting dry mouth.
He's getting dry mouth. Uh-oh. So here's the deal. You are granted a special wish. The genie is back with us.
In the biggest bottle ever.
Yeah, and inside the biggest sphere ever.
That's the bottle.
1.2 million LEDs.
Yes.
Lots of LEDs. And he's benevolent this time. Except he's got a little bit of, I got you, kind of thing going on. So he says, look, dude, you can go and see.
Wow, you're really winding this up.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I think Tony's buffering.
I have a buffered bypass.
Yes.
So here's the deal. You want to go see this band? Okay. But no. Back me up.
Okay,
Back me up. Back me up.
It's only better if you were here,
band?
Ralph.
Yeah, guys, I think you're playing too much of the hemp cone here.
Yeah.
I was touching it earlier. So here's the deal. He says, dude, you get to have a guitar, a Stars guitar. That would be the Edge of U2, his Explorer, that he used way back when. But you have to sit through the Motley Crue Poison double bill show. Beginning to end, and they play every album, each band, every album. We're talking about a 18-hour concert. Or you get to have Mick Mars Strat. But you have to sit through the U2 show. And this time they're doing something very special. They're going to play every album, including the singles from the very early days all the way to modern times. And again, about another 18-hour concert in the Sphere. And you'll probably have to be up in the nosebleeds, which if you have any fear of heights, this thing looks incredibly scary. So what's it going to be? Do you want the Edge's Explorer? But you have to sit through Motley and Poison. Or do you want Mick Mars Strat and sit through U2?
Okay. Now, to clarify, do we know what year the Explorer is? Is it like a 58?
No, his isn't a 50.
So it's going to be something in the 70s?
Yeah, probably.
Is it current day Motley Crue and current day?
Yes.
Okay.
Current day.
All right.
Which band annoys you the most is what we're saying.
And
Nugget Hot.
And
Well,
are
it
we talking
depends.
about
Hot on speed.
and on Mick, we're talking about his like the 80s Kramer
Yeah.
era. Okay.
Yeah, whatever his number one.
Kramer's. Yeah.
Kramer's. Listen, he's talking already. I'm assuming you want to go first, Rob.
I thought you always go first.
I do, but I'm
No,
willing to.
No. Tony first.
All right. Here's the deal.
Cosmics, whatever here.
I don't know that I could sit through a Motley Crue and Poison double bill for 18 hours. So I'm going to have to take Mick Mars Strat and I'll sit through the U2 show. I've seen U2 several times.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could sit through 18 hours of U2, but I'm willing to give it a try. So that's my decision. Take the edge, or take...
Take the edge off.
yeah,
Take the edge off before we're going to see.
Yeah, I will need something to take the edge off. No, I'm going to take the Strat from Mick Mars and watch U2 up in the nosebleeds.
Okay. Rob.
Same
Same?
reasons I could. There's no way 18 hours. If tomorrow you said, hey, Rob, I got these free floor seats to see Motley Crue and Poison. They're free, include a meal, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, no, thanks. So that tells you how there's no way 18 hours. No, there'd be news of somebody hanging off the balcony and that'd be me.
All right, fair enough. Chris?
I'm thinking the Explorer might be enough of a draw for me to sacrifice my 18-hour.
You'd sit through 18 hours?
For the Explorer, I think I would. I think I'd rather have the Explorer than the Strat. And I don't think 18 hours of U2, well, it would be better than 18 hours of. I'd rather have the Explorer, so I'm going to go with Explorer.
The instrument outweighs the personal abuse.
Yes. Yes.
Ralph, which way are you going?
Oh, well, okay. I'd love the Explorer because the Explorer it's a super cool looking guitar. But I feel like 18 hours of Motley Crue and Poison, I like if you're going to be stuck, and this is a massive sphere.
Aeroplane.
With like, I'm gonna just assume that there's like lighting and like super cool visuals the whole time.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna want to be with the group of people who are just gonna be like, they're just true. Like, they're gonna like U2 fans. They love U2 like so much. They will do anything with U2, and I want to be around the people who are just gonna like be happy the whole time and loving everything that's going on. And whether or not, you love the music or not, it doesn't really, because like the vibe will be cool. And so I'll take any guitar you give me.
What about all the laughs? What about all the laughs you could have at the? Because we're watching right now. We're watching a video as we speak. Like,
bring a friend.
It could be It could be 18 hours of laughs at the Motley Crue show. Because right now, Todd's smiling watching some of these Motley Crue videos. But I definitely can respect that. I think that's a good point with the crowd who you're hanging with for 18 hours. It's a good way to good take on it for sure.
There you go. Todd?
Well, okay. I've got, first of all, I think the idea of watching a band at the Sphere, look, I saw images of this when the U2 first came out and everybody was blitzed by it. And every single person is just like filming the Sphere. They got U2 at the bottom, and no one's paying attention to them. They're just going, "Oh, there's pretty pictures all over the place." To me, it's
that's every show now, though.
But no, if you paid money to go see U2 and you only care about the TVs around you, that's crazy. I just I have a very hard time with this whole thing. At first I was like, "Wow, wait a minute." Now, I also have a huge problem with I love old Motley Crue. I really do. Vince needs to hang it up. Take the bologna sandwich out of his mouth. You can't understand him. It's really bad, and I actually feel bad for the rest of the band because they got to sit there and do this every night with him. And he used to be great.
I feel bad they each are making like $1 million a show.
It's bananas. Anyways, so at first blush, I was like, "There's no way I'm going to watch U2 because Bono and whatever. It's just not my bag of chips."
Oh, and here's the one for you, Todd. God. You have to eat the other half of Vince's bologna sandwich. Half-eaten sandwich.
I don't think there is one. So, anyways.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like people pay a lot of money to go watch these shows. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Anyways, so at first I was like, okay, whatever isn't U2, I'm going for. Mm-hmm. And then the idea of, and like I said, I've seen that show before. I've seen that double bill before, twice.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, that would be very, very painful to do. But more painful. But now you guys are talking about audience. It's a rock and roll audience. Like people like kind of losing their minds, living up the old rock and roll dreams, and I'm like, I didn't want to see pictures of flowers and stuff. I want to see if the whole thing's engulfed in flames and there's skulls and there's, all kinds of other crazy stuff happening. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna painfully sit through Vince murdering these great songs, and I'm gonna walk away with the Explorer, and I'm gonna be better off than having sat there and watched YouTube for 18 hours.
All right.
That's my thing.
So I might throw a wrench in this, right?
Oh, man.
Nick Mars is no longer in.
Well, this is hypothetical. I don't know if you know that.
Isn't it John 5 now?
It is.
Mick is coming back for a special engagement.
Oh.
Yes, he came back for.
He
this
arm
one.
wrestled with John 5, and he won.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, really?
Anyways, hypothetically, that happened.
Because I don't know if that
Yeah,
physicality wise,
It is.
I feel like John 5 is a little bit more.
dexterous. Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Not if he eats the bologna sandwich
anyways,
first.
Okay. Hey,
Because if you threw in John 5 in the whole situation, I might change my tune.
John
a
5's
little.
not in the situation.
No, he's not in the situation. Nor can you have one of his guitars.
Yes. All right. That was a pretty fun one there, Tony. And if you don't like what you heard, go to throwrocksattodd.com
Send in a what would you
and,
rather.
and send
then,
us a would you rather.
Send us a would you rather.
Yeah, we'll
That's
come
where
up with a less
excruciating.
bad one. Yes.
We'll send you a genuine guitar knobs thank you note.
We'll send you the other half of Vince Neil's sandwich.
Quarter. Our
Yeah.
website doesn't exist. Throwrocksattodd.com.
I know.
You're doing it wrong. It's rocks, the number
Rocks at
4,
Todd.
and Todd.
Rocks for Todd?
T-O-D-D. Rocksfortodd.com.
That doesn't exist either. All right. We need to thank a few people and
yes,
let Ralph
we
out of here.
do. Please.
And I think Rob has to go to the bathroom. So.
Yeah, I think so. He's crossing his legs. So at this point of the show, there's a special group of people we love to thank. These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer makes this show possible. How do you become an executive producer? It's very easy. You go over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can become a sponsor, a patron, a benefactor, a hero
A hero.
of this podcast.
Yes.
Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win extremely cool
Like
things.
pedals and guitar books.
And books and all sorts of treasures.
Yes.
But as an executive producer, there's one thing more. What is that?
You get to have your name right on the thing.
Your name read on the thing, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers. Vader and Pedals, John Halverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Elad Mizrahi, Mike D, Richard Kendall, James White, Motander Guitars, Anthony Gemalero, Bill Gola Guitars, John Esterly, Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Doug Christ, Darren Gregory, Tom Barazin, Rusty Sneeden, Ralph Gottschalk. Hey,
What?
That's that guy right there.
Hello.
I know that guy.
What? Don Kloss, Gregory Randall, Brett Hogarth, Eric Hemmer, Stuart George, Michael Furman, James Bell, James Romer, Cameron Pampas, David Tyndall, Trevor Ellenberg, and Christopher Logan.
Indeed.
But
Thank
you know-
you. So,
Todd,
yes.
there's another group of people
Tell me.
you forget every week.
I know.
I can't believe we've been doing this for 100 years. So we would like to give a very special thanks to these grand poobahs. The top of the heap, the cream of the crop. A number 1.
King of the Hill.
That's right. Tommy Manasco, Ricardo Iguareda, David Kaminga, Brandon Wound Pickups, Hex Matos, Michio Murakishi, Bob Crouch, Jack Cadian, Sam Jett, Tyler Rhines, LSJ Music Company, John Williams, James Pennington, Steve Keys, Cody Foster, Science of Sound, Brian Robison, Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, Michael Van Zant, Tim Nowak, Jonathan Daly, Martin Cliff, Sean S. David Poe, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Congregation Gear Demos, Paul Von Eppinger, Scott Sullivan, Great Lakes Guitar Pickups, Matt Hart, Enrico Fernando, and Moon Guitar.
That is right. Two things. Thank you to our pal at Moon Guitars for that delightful video he sent upon receiving his fez. And I also wanted to do a great big shout out to Liam at Bilgola Guitars because he knows why. All right. Ralph. We need to let people know where they can buy your delicious pedals.
Yeah. So wonderfulaudiotechnology.com or whatpedals.com. And I also have stuff on Reverb. I tend to favor my own web store, but I try to keep Reverb in stock.
Good.
Nice.
Yes. And if you see a used one, get the new one. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Support
yes.
support the boy.
And one thing more, I just want to give away a Fuzzlands to one of your patrons.
What?
That is legitimately
Crazy talk.
fantastic. I'm super excited about this.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Okay. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
We'll get it in the hands of one of our illustrious patrons, and they will have a fantastic time playing this. I'm very, very excited because it is truly it's a really great pedal
With all 12 switch combinations.
with all 12 switch combinations. Yeah,
An infinite number.
Actually, and don't forget the LED trim pot inside. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Even the Sphere doesn't have that.
And they don't.
No, it's too bright in there.
Rob, that is that's
What?
don't break it.
Well, I'm not gonna break it. Calm down.
Hey, Ralph, that is an
I
incredible.
think Rob could fix. Are you talking about my pedal? I think Rob could fix
he
it.
could probably fix it.
No, we'd send it back for authorized service.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do have a very good warranty.
Yeah, excellent.
If it breaks, I'll fix it.
If it breaks,
As
you
long
fix
as
it.
you didn't drive a car over
Perfect.
it. You know.
Ralph, that is an incredibly generous thing that you're doing for our patrons, and I truly appreciate it. I know Tony is truly appreciating it even as we speak.
Yes, I am.
That's delightful. All right, patrons, we're going to get this information out to you very soon. All right, Tony.
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out some of the things that I do, some of the things I have available for sale. But by and large, what I do is custom work. So shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do, and I will take very good care of you.
Excellent. Rob.
Mad Cow Amplification on Instagram,
Yes.
Facebook.
Super
OnlyFans.
fun to watch. You have a great bathroom channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. when
I
you're-
like his
a great
other-
toilet channel.
His other channel, Angry Amp Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the same channel.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
why I'm
No,
on the toilet.
honestly, you learn a lot. It's great. I always learn something. Chris.
Plexi 335 on YouTube.
Plexi 38.
Three.
Plexi 335.
I heard a niner in
That's
there, I
right,
think.
335.
335 at YouTube. Some really great playing and going through demoing amps and stuff like that.
He has a plexiglass ES335.
Oh, well, that's
That'd
amazing.
be cool.
Man, one of its kind.
Indeed. You can shoot me an email, todd@theguitarknobs.com. You can also DM me on Instagram @guitarknobs. We'd love to hear your would you rathers and other fine stories and all that good stuff. Please go listen to the Valentinos. We got a brand new EP just out. And also, yeah, get a little go over to Flint Effects and flinteffects.com. Get yourself a stomper.
Stomp.
Protect your knobs.
Absolutely.
Put it on your HX stomp so you don't crush those tiny little knobs.
I hate when those
And it looks
knobs
cool
get
too.
crushed.
And for whatever reason, everybody keeps getting black sparkle, but you could get something different of this, like 7 colors we got or something like that. $10. I mean, what can that hurt? Nothing.
Nothing at
Go
all.
to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology for joining us tonight. Cue fanfare.
Thank you for having
Cue
me.
fanfare. 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 I hope you had a good time, Ralph.
I did.
Excellent. That's all we need. Hey, everybody, have a fantastic guitar world and surprise! I said surprise instead of subscribe. Yes. Okay.
Can you open that for
No,
me?
I cannot. You can use your own lady fingernails.
One of Jared's
seemed
old
legit.
ones.
Just imagine you're putting on your underwear right out of the dryer.
It seemed very natural for you. So.
That actually is kind of a nice feeling.
That's what I'm saying. Let me get a little bit of this. You know, that's
I
good.
think that might be you or you.
It's just me.
You guys have it. Let's do
Ralph,
it.
back me up.
We don't smoke or
second time.
swear or rat our hair.
Ooh.
I get ill from one cigarette. Keep your filthy paws off my silky drawers. Would you pull that stuff with a net?
No. All right, Ralph. We're gonna have a thing here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're gonna birth this thing.
Birth it. Birth it like a mother.
No.
I would love that because honestly,
but yeah,
you
'cause
make
I
a
love you
great
guys,
product,
like,
man.
You're fun. I enjoy listening to you guys and talking to you guys.
You forgot handsome.
And you're very handsome.
He did forget.
I did forget it.
Getting ready to come in. Did you hear something out there too?
I did.
You want to check that out?
Maybe someone's grabbing.
You're bigger than I am.
Maybe someone's grabbing their gear.
That sounds like a John to me.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Oh, okay. He knows it. He knows the stranger in a dark hoodie in our dark hallway.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Nothing to worry about.
No, probably not.
Edit that out.
I will.
Okay.
It's Grease, man. Come on.
Never seen it.
What?
Yeah, well,
I have better things to
what
do
are you
with my
saying
time.
what for? Who are you talking to?
I have
You've
better
never seen
things to do with my
Grease?
time.
You've never seen
I've never
Grease?
seen Grease.
Okay.
Don't we have a podcast or something to do?
Why would Huey Lewis and the News be played right next to Billy Idol? On what planet would those two things ever be cited next to each other?
Because they only had about 50 videos at that time.
And guess what? We all grew culturally from all that. And that's now it's so micro siloed that there's no exposure to things outside whatever your algorithm lane is.
Micro siloed.
Ralph, where do you stand on this? Going on?
I was worried you guys were going to get murdered or something.
No, I was too for a second.
Well,
It's a dodgy area.
Wouldn't that
I'm not
be a
lying.
great end of podcast?
Yes.
That'd be unfortunate.
Yes.
I love it.
I would throw Rob in front of me any day of the week. All right.
Wow, I like how he picked me first. Anyone have any
Attendee as of what?
Deoxit. It's cutting in and out every time.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's just dirty.
You're dirty.
You're a dirty
There-
man.
A recent attendee you saw featured on the Marshall episode.
Marshall.
Go ahead.
Hey, Chris Connor, how you doing?
Marshall.
Hey.
Wow, two deep talkers.
Yes. This is going to be great. I'll just leave you two guys alone and see what happens.
And there happens to be a couch over there that we
Yes.
can tie you down.
Ralph, help me.
Tie me up,
Well,
tie me down.
I don't know if I can help you. I haven't seen a lot of movies.
You've seen Grease, though, right?
No, I haven't.
What?
But you don't need to get the flux off. So
That'd be a great shirt. Get the flux off,
Would be.
right?
Trademark.
Yes.
Trademark.
Hurry up.
That's another. Here, somebody run with that.
I like Tony.
There's
No.
tons better.
Like what?
Give me a 5 seconds. Little Shop of Horrors.
That's a garbage movie. That's a terrible movie and an awful play. It's stupid.
Hey, while Todd's not here, does anybody have a Celestian Vintage 30 they want to sell? An 8-ohm?
Vintage 30. No.
Not Chinese, though. UK.
I don't.
Okay. What?
You saying everything I have is Chinese? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't mean it, but
You
like that.
You looked right at me. No, don't open that.
Don't open it.
Don't
It's
open
closed
that.
for a reason, Rob.
Rob. Are you saying Rocky
of-
Horror Picture Shows?
Yes.
Oh.
It's the worst. I finished watching that. Ralph, have you ever seen that?
I have not.
No,
I told you I haven't
don't. You'll never get the minute it's over, all you'll do is start writing, like you'll write a list of life regrets, and that'll be the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Tony
$10.
wants to put deoxit on your pedal.
Oh, is it?
No, he just wants to see what it does.
It's very noisy.
We're just going to fill it up.
All the signal path makes it sound very fuzzy.
It's very It sounds like it's broken.
I think I better deoxit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He wants that transparent clean tones out of that.
Well,
Jeez.
I know this guy.
Man, he's like he owns the place.
Yeah. A show would be me strapped down in a chair listening to people tell me the movies they haven't seen. That would be absolute murder.
Ooh.
It would be torture.
we can
it would
make
be
that happen.
absolutely no. You
I
could
haven't seen a
overpower me
lot of
tonight.
The three of us, man, we got this.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.